Ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to be a lot more serious than the typical videos that I make. I do make serious videos, but overall I just make like goofy videos talking about stuff on the internet. However, today is kind of a more serious one because this involves a content creator whose life is currently at risk right now. And I kind of just wanted to talk about it and go through you guys in a more casual format. So the person we're talking about today is a guy named Brandon Buckingham. This is a channel on YouTube that does more like documentary style content. Some of his most popular videos kind of involve going into poor and dangerous areas and kind of interview the people in them to get kind of an inside scoop on. So for example, you have Inside the Bloodhounds. Here he visited the notorious O-Block hood, which I think is one of the most dangerous hoods in the world. And he does a bunch of content like this. It's all very high quality and all really good.
The segregated White City amusement park was built in 1905 on 14 acres of land in the heart of what is in modern days called O-Block. This park was famous for its attractions, including a tower that could be seen for 14 miles in all directions. After its demolition in 1946, the area would once again become famous, this time for much more sinister reasons. In 1955, America's first cooperatively owned African-American housing development opened on the land where the once segregated White City amusement park stood. The low-income apartment complex called Parkway Gardens would house more than 20,000 residents, and throughout nearly 5 decades, the most noteworthy thing about the area was that Michelle Obama once resided there.
So you kind of get the point. Basically, he does kind of like this documentary style videos. I kind of see him as like a better kind of like Tyler Oliveira, if you guys know that guy. However, if you check his channel very recently, you'll see a video called I Have Almost Died and I Need Your Help. Now, the type of content that Brandon does obviously is very dangerous as he visits these different hoods and these different places all around the world and all these very impoverished areas that once again is known for things like gang violence, regular violence, gun violence, and all of the above. By doing these videos, he's just constantly getting himself into situations where he's basically risking his life. Specifically in the Bloodhounds video that I referenced earlier, he had actually almost died in that hood, and I think his cameraman even got shot as well.
These are the final moments I filmed before we exited the recording studio, and were met by 6 masked gunmen who emptied over 60 rounds at us at close range, injuring 4 people.
The shooting happened right outside of Studios. As a matter of fact, I want you to come take a look at this. One of the bullets pierced this door, and that's not the only one. We found a shell casing on the sidewalk, the same sidewalk where 4 men were shot.
One of which was my cameraman named Matt, who among all of the chaos of being struck in the jugular by a bullet, actually picked up the camera and began filming his immediate reactions to being shot.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy shit. I hope Brandon's okay. Guys, holy shit. Guys, they just shot a lot of shots. I didn't get hit. I don't think so. I'm okay. I'm behind a dumpster. Across the street.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy that he recorded that so quickly after apparently he got shot and whatnot. Now, apparently, in one case, there's actually a point where, from what I understand, he had been shot, right? And it happened fairly recently. This is a post he made towards it, where he said, "Thank you to everyone who's been praying for me. I sincerely appreciate it. I'm out of the hospital for now, and my condition seems to have stabilized. God willing, in a few weeks, I'll be able to start improving." And then this person says, "What happened? Glad you're doing okay." And then this person says, he got shot. And just so I cover all my bases here, when I was checking articles as to what happened to him that day, apparently it remains unclear what exactly caused him to be in the hospital like that. But either way, this seems to be like kind of the catalyst to what happened next, which we'll get into now. So this seemed to start off the month of November not in a good way for Brandon. And here you can see a comment from a fellow creator named Oompaville, who he has done plenty of content with before. And he says, "For real, I haven't never seen someone stricken by something so horrible. Brandon is a real badass and incredibly tough." And 9 days later, he posts, "Doctor believes I have tuberculosis, sepsis, pneumonia, and or liver failure. Pray for me, guys." And also, one thing that happened that really stinks, this happened very close to when his grandmother passed away as well, in which you could tell he was not handling the news very well. I mean, he even said here, "I'd like to be around for a while, but I fear I may not." There's been other hints that his mental has not been in the greatest place as well.
We're co-opting, we're stealing this Too Late Show channel, and we're turning it into actual good viewable content because we're both very desperate for money.
Yeah, we're a bit in the doldrums.
And we need it bad.
Yeah.
And there's been repeated tragedies recently.
A lot of bad stuff going on.
Tragedies.
Should we even get into it, or if we just leave it at
No,
that?
no, we should leave it at that. Definitely. Yeah, we don't want to get into that at all. We don't need to talk about anything actually important on this podcast.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that we don't even know has happened to him, and this is just the shit on the cake of shit that he's been going through, and I feel really bad for him. So once again, as you can see, this post says he has tuberculosis, septic pneumonia, and or liver failure. I am curious about what septic pneumonia is. So it says septic pneumonia is a form of pneumonia that is complicated by a severe lung infection causing an intense immune response in the body. It can lead to widespread inflammation, organ dysfunction, and even organ failure. Treatment for septic pneumonia typically involves hospitalization and administration of antibiotics to target the underlying infection. This is probably the thing that even led to the liver failure going on as well, so that's probably one of the biggest things. Then he had a post 2 days later that was very, very scary, and it says, in the ICU, my heart is failing and my lungs are failing. My liver and kidneys are failing. Things are not looking good, my friends. I love you guys. Having the implication that he might die. Like, genuinely might die. You can see some fellow content creators tell him that they're praying for him and to keep fighting. And yeah, I mean, like, what can I say? It's incredibly scary to have that happen. I imagine he's feeling incredibly scared at the moment. This is also because he actually has an 11-month-old child as well, and a wife on top of that. You know, him dying would be leaving those two behind. And so basically, it was kind of left in the air about, like, what exactly happened to him. Until literally today, where he says, I almost died and I need your help. I don't like asking you guys for anything, but I am in a dire situation and this is my only option. I've created a GoFundMe to help my family and I in this trying time. God bless everyone who has sent kind messages. I really appreciate it. This caught a lot of attention. So going to the GoFundMe, it says support Brandon Buckingham's medical recovery. Now, fortunately, he did in fact reach the original $75K goal, and he has gotten over $180,000 that was raised for him as well, which is really, really good. Now, I did read kind of this whole thing, but I'll go through it again for you guys because once again, it kind of gives the broad strokes of what's going on with him. 4 days ago, I woke up not knowing where I was, completely deaf, my feet were swollen, and I was in severe pain. I was rushed to the urgent care and eventually in the ICU. I was very disoriented and confused. The initial diagnosis was acute systolic heart failure, kidney failure, and liver failure, all things brought on by pneumonia and subsequent sepsis or possibly tuberculosis. The good news is they no longer think I have tuberculosis. This is specifically the septic pneumonia that I've already talked about. You can see the symptoms line up perfectly with what is going on with him. The swelling, the constant failures of different organs, that's all because of septic pneumonia. So he says, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I know for sure if I do survive, it will be a very long recovery, and I will not be able to provide for my family for at least several months if things do not go well. Cardiology specialist informed me that I may be on bed rest anywhere for 2 to 4 months as I recover from this very scary, life-threatening illness. So then he mentions here, because he does YouTube full time and his wife is a stay-at-home mother, obviously she can't immediately provide for everything. I'm going to assume what's going to happen in the coming months is that she might have to get a job to also support on top of that, but Brandon provides most of the money. He's a full-time YouTuber, and obviously he can't record videos because he's very out of commission at the moment, and the only way he could, he turned to the public, and this is why this GoFundMe was made. And then he says here that he'll also need to be on heart medication for the rest of his life, which is fucking horrible. He says my heart's only working at 15 to 20%, and says he once again needs money to pay off over $100K of medical debts that he's racked up over time. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, like when you listen to the video, he sounds terrible, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking. You can see he's like constantly taking giant breaths in between phrases. He's speaking very slowly. He sounds very weak and whatnot. It is horrible, and yeah.
And it really pains me to write this, but I feel obligated to, only because I have an 11-month-old baby who is taken care of by my beautiful stay-at-home wife who I provide for. 4 days ago, I woke up not knowing where I was, completely deaf, my feet were swollen, and I was in severe pain. I was rushed to urgent care and eventually the ICU.
I'm not going to watch the whole thing, obviously, because it's just him reading off the thing that I've already went through in the GoFundMe. This is a really, really terrible situation. My heart goes out to, you know, him, his wife, I mean, obviously his kid, his family, like everyone that's associated with him. I'm sure he's also incredibly scared right now because he could be losing his fucking life, which is incredibly scary. The fortunate silver lining is that he does have the money raised and a lot more too. Easily going to get over 200K for sure. You know, once again, he's received 5.5K donations vaccinations right now. You have a lot of YouTubers coming to his aid and basically advocating for their audience to also donate to his medical recovery. I really hope that the situation doesn't get any worse. And it really does show kind of how fleeting life can be, and one thing can change so much in your life forever and make it so much harder to live. This is one of those situations that's really, really scary. You know, this post is reporting in only 5 hours he got just under 140K, and in less than 24 hours he actually got well over 200K, which, I mean, it's nice to see everyone coming together, even though once again the situation is fucked. Yeah, overall, man, this is a terrible situation. I really do hope Brandon Buckingham gets well, man. He makes really good videos and he seems like a pretty nice guy, so I really do hope that everything goes well for him and stuff, and that he can make as swift of a recovery as possible. He did make the goal. I am still gonna put the fundraiser in the description below if you guys want to donate to him. If not, it's fine. What I wanted to do was kind of spread the word. I mean, that's the second best thing you can do. But yeah, I hope he makes a swift recovery and that everything goes well, honestly. I really do. But let me know what you guys think about this type of format I'm doing. I know it's more casual, but I'll catch y'all later. I know this was kind of a bit of a hard watch here, but I figured that talking about this would be better than not doing anything. And videos that are less dire will come out soon. I promise. I know this one is heavy. I'm sorry. Peace.